Hi everybody, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to talk about the LangChain and how it works and what this thing is at all. Okay, as you can see, like LangChain is a framework has been launched recently, like maybe a month, 6 months ago, or somewhere around that. You can see its GitHub repo. Here you will find out everything, all the information about its releases. What this thing is. So LangChain is a kind of framework that helps you develop applications, AI powered applications, you can say, with all ease, which means like you can build these things, you can build these AI powered applications very quickly with it. Okay, so I've drawn a diagram to explain you like what this LangChain is and how it works. So right now, you should go on ChatGPT and ask what is LangChain. Then you will see that it will respond. It will respond that hey, I don't know about the LangChain. As you can see, I'm sorry, but as of my last training cut of September 2021, I don't have the information about LangChain because it hasn't been trained on this thing. Okay, so that's why there is no information about LangChain. But now let's try to take a look at like the drawing that I've drawn. Although it's not that good, but still you will get an idea. So now when we will try to integrate OpenAI, for example, for the sake of this video, we will be taking example of this OpenAI as a LLM. We will be using this one, OpenAI LLM model, most specifically like DaVinci 003 one. Okay, so in a simple word, like normally, how would you like work with the LLM models? Okay, so here you will have a OpenAI API or whatever you can say. Here is your LLM, and here is your prompt. Basically, you will ask anything like what is LangChain. It will send that to OpenAI, and OpenAI will try to find the best answer for on the basis of given question. And if it will be able to find out, which means like it has been trained on that data. If it has been trained on that data, then it will give you the answer. If it's not, then it will return you response, something like that I just showed you. Okay, so this one. So although you might be thinking there's also another way for building that, like you can just make a simple API call to Google search API, and then you can integrate that to here, and then it will have a context, so it will be able to answer that, right? Which is really really fine. But doing all of that by yourself will be not a, not a like a hard task, but it will be like a just overhead, like you have to manage all of the things by yourself. So it will make things more complex for you. So that's why there is a thing called LangChain that helps you to do everything. Like it has all the inbuilt features to manage all these things. Like you don't have to implement everything from scratch. You can just use it, and it will work like a charm. Okay, so let's say what happens here when you use LangChain. So here you have a prompt. When you enter like what is LangChain, and here this thing send you will send this prompt to a LangChain, and LangChain will pass it through tools. There is a thing called tools, which I'll explain you later in this video, like what tools are. Okay, basically what agents are. Okay, so here you can see like agents, and these agents are kind of a way to interact with external sources. Okay, so let's say you have a database that you want to interact with, or you have a Google search API or any API you can imagine. Okay, so even like if there is a vector database, which we'll talk about later, it is used for like a long-term memory. Okay, so we will talk about all of these later in this video, but it's a kind of a way to connect your LLM with external data sources. So whenever you will send this prompt, it will go and find the right agent that can help it to achieve the task, and then that agent will return the response. On the basis of that, it will send that uh, basically it will send that response back to LLM, and then that LLM will send you response back. Okay, so that's how it happens here when you use LangChain. Now the thing is like you don't have to do all of this by yourself. There's a very very nice way to manage all these. Like all you need to do, like you have to define different sort of tools that needs to be executed when it's required, and you need a good description to tell LangChain like when to use this thing and all. Okay, and that's how you will be able to build AI powered application with it. Okay, so here you can see like it also gives you it gives you basically a functionality to connect with the external data sources. So it's a kind of a data aware, which means like you can feed the data that you want to pass it as a context. Okay, so that's what LangChain is, and that's what we are going to build in this video. Okay, so the simple one that we are going to build will be using SERP API. SERP API, if you don't know, like it's just a way to call Google searches. I'll show you like how to do so. And after that, I'll basically we will connect that SERP API here as an agent. Okay, we will make an agent, and here there we will basically connect this SERP API as a tool. Okay, and we will define like use it when you want to make a Google search and something like that. Okay, and after that, whenever you will search something, it will go and search the relevant information like updated information from Google, and then it will send that back to OpenAI as a context. And then after that, OpenAI can like respond to your answer. Okay, so something like that we are going to do. If this excites you, then watch this video till the end. You will have a better understanding of how to use LangChain and how you can do that, how you can manage all the things. Okay, so before we start, the one thing is like we are not going to cover all of the things here in this particular video. We will be just doing what I've described here. But there are also different things as well, like you have a memory that you can attach to these LangChain, which will, like I talked about, like the vector database. So we will talk about this vector database maybe in the next video, or the whenever, if I'll see like you guys need that, then I will basically make the video according to the need. Okay, so yeah, so without wasting your time, let's start this video. I'll show you in the implementation part. Okay. Okay, now let's see the implementation part. Okay, and first of all, we are going to build a very simple chain. We are going to call a model, and we'll see like how that works. And after that, we will move to the agent and tools part. Okay, like how you can integrate that with your LangChain. Okay, so because video can be too long, so that's why I'm not explaining all of the minor concepts, but you can read about that in the documentation section. Okay, so this is the documentation that we're going to follow, and we'll be doing this video in JavaScript, as you have already seen on the thumbnail. So yeah, let's start this video. So this is the first of all, you need to initiate the project. Okay, you have to initiate the project npm init. Why you can do that by using this command. Okay, and yeah, so now we have a package.json, and all you need to do is install the package called LangChain. Okay, so I'll mention the link of all the documentation that I'm referring right now in the description, so you can check those out if you want to. Okay, so this can take some time. Just let's wait for it, and after that I will show you like how we can do this. Okay, so here I've installed the LangChain. Okay, so now let's try to build a very simple chain. Let's try to call LangChain and how to works. Okay, basically we will be using OpenAI model in this video, but you can use anything you want. But if you don't know right now how to do so, just watch this video, and then you can find the way to find a way to call other models as well. Okay, so I've created this index.js file, and the first thing that I'm going to do is let's import this thing. Okay, so we have imported OpenAI. Okay, and after that, so this is the OpenAI that we have imported. It's also from LangChain LLM, so slash OpenAI. Okay, so yeah, you also get this OpenAI as well here, so you don't have to install that explicitly. So that's the best part, although it might have installed that OpenAI behind the scene, but yeah. And after that, the other thing that you need to do is, yeah, you have to set up your Open API key. Just like if if you want to manage everything, like you can create a .tnv file, You can install .env, like all that typical things. You can do that, and then you can just import your .env here, and yeah, that's how you can import your key. So let me just create my OpenAI key for this particular video. API keys and test tutorial. Okay, which I'll delete basically after this video. So yeah, that's all. And let me just uh, name it OpenAPI key, and here is my key. Okay, so now let's go back to documentation, and here, yeah, so now we are going to talk about this prompt template. Okay, so whenever you build an application, you might have seen you are not going to give user all the options to enter the prompt however they want. Okay, so you will take a user input, then on the basis of that input, you will basically form a you will engineer or like a form entire prompt. Okay, so if someone is saying, if someone has entered like someone is clicked on, let's say, mango. Okay, like give me the information about topic, you can see. Okay, so you will get this thing from client side, and then after that you will basically form a proper a prompt on the basis of that. Okay, so the prompt template, prompt template, I think, yeah, it's called prompt template. Let me see. Yeah, so it's a prompt template is kind of used for that. Okay, so it gives you that option and flexibility to like structure your prompt. I know, like, you might be thinking like you can do this thing in like a simple JavaScript function as well, so why do you even need this? But believe me, because it gives you a way to structure your code in a specific format, because we are using LangChain, we are following the rules and regulations of particular this LLM model. Okay, that's why. Although it's not like strictly strict, you are not restricted to like use only these kind of prompts. Like you can, I think, simply post a simple prompt as well, but it's just a better way to do it in this way. Okay, so let me just copy these one. So here, let me explain you what happened here. So the first thing that we did, like we have imported the prompt template to form a prompt, and let me just shift this to shift this at top. Okay, so now we have OpenAI key, and after that we are initializing OpenAI model. Okay, so we are creating an instance of it, and inside that we have temperature set to 0.9, and the one thing that we need to enter here is like OpenAI key. Okay, so this is the OpenAI API key. Just click on it, and OpenAI API key. Okay, so now our model has been initialized. Here, let's define a template. So what I want here, you can see like it's what is the good name for a company that makes product. But what we are going to do, we are going to tell it like give me information, which is a very general, I know. Give me information about topic. Okay, give me information about topic. It makes sense. So this is the way to basically define what should be here, as an argument or whatever you want to call it. And whatever you have defined here, you have to tell it like this is the variable that I'm using in my template. So make sure to get these whenever the user try to form this thing. Whenever you try to form the template. And here there are two different property here. The first one is template itself, like the template that you have defined here, and what kind of variables it is taking. Okay, so it's input variables. uh, so you can have like more than one. So but for this video, like for this particular thing, like we are just using this one, so we don't need that. So we are using the topic as a variable, so we have defined a topic here. Okay, so if I'll just show you by console logging like how it looks. We have a prompt dot format. Okay, and here what you need to do, you have to enter your values. Here we will be entering our uh, topic. Okay, topic, and let's say LangChain for this video. Okay, and if I do like a node index.js, it will say can't use import statement outside a module. Okay, so just let me add a very quickly this module thing, and now I think this one should work. Okay, so it's a sync because it's a formatting. So let me just do it. So I'm going to define like a sync function, which will like execute right at the moment. Which will get executed right at the moment. Sync. Okay, and here what I would like to do, I would like to call this. Okay, so the const info, like const prompt info. So I'm storing the prompt basically. Okay, inside this particular variable, like this is called prompt info. And let me just remove this one prompt. Okay, so what are we doing? We are taking this prompt. We have entered our topic inside it, the variable that we defined, and yeah, and we have to do a wait because it's a promise. And now if I console log prompt info, then you will see node index.js give me information about LangChain. So it is kind of formatting the entire template, not template, but template in a way the way it should be. Okay, so that's how you can use this prompt template. Now let's see how you can model and use this. Okay, so there are two ways to call model. The one way is like using call, and then there is another way which is like a chain. Okay, so but let's see like we are going to use this one. Okay, the call method. So now if I call like let me just save this response model. This is the OpenAI model that we are using, and here we will use call, and here inside this what you will do. Okay, so one thing that we forgot, like which is very very important, is like we forgot to build a chain. Okay, so this is the thing. We are going to import our LLM chain, which is like a very basic one. Okay, so this is our LLM chain, like LangChain. Chains from one of the chains from LangChain, and we are going to create an instance of that. And what this instance takes, like it takes an object as an argument where you have to define at least two properties, which is like first of all LLM, the model that you're using, like in this case we are using this one, and after that the prompt. Okay, so we have formatted our prompt, not a this one. Okay, just ignore this one for now, and here is our prompt. Okay, and after that we have our response thing. Here you can see so instead of like calling model directly, we can call like a chain dot call. So this is the chain that we have, and we can call this using the parameter which is yeah by entering the topic itself. So if I now enter let's say now give me some information about Elon Musk. Okay. And after that if I will print this, then you will see it will give you answer. Basically it will give you information about this Elon Musk. Okay, let's wait for a minute. Give me information about Elon Musk. Okay, so here you can see like it has given us information uh, about Elon Musk and who is guy and what does he do. Okay, so that's how you can do it. Sorry. Okay, so now you have seen like how you can use this LLM chain and how you can call a simple model. But this is not the only thing that why we have used LangChain. Okay, so it doesn't make any sense if we will only limit ourselves to this thing, because there are like a lot of things in LangChain, and the one we are going to cover is like a agent in this video. So the most important and one of my favorite, because I learned that recently and it's awesome, to be honest. Okay, so now if I will ask something like LangChain, I think it should not give me any answer of that. Let me show you. So if I print the response right now, then you will see like a LangChain is a decentralized artificial intelligence. Wait a minute, LangChain is a decentralized artificial intelligence that uses blockchain technology to connect language. So yeah, it's a kind of a giving a wrong information, so it's not a correct information. Okay, I don't know I why it's even doing that, but yeah, it's not actually the language that we were talking about. Okay, so how you can overcome this problem, like how you can fix this problem. So that's where agent comes in. Like agent will basically make another API request to the thing that it needs. It will automatically figure out like where it needs to make an API call. So you don't have to define especially like hey, if a user intended to search, if a user intends to search on like a Google, like to get a relevant information, then go to Google and then do that. You don't have to manage all the if and else and everything like that, or you don't even have to like do any kind of that engineering. So it will all all of this will be done by this LangChain and using agents that that we will talk about uh, just after a few minutes. Okay, so yeah, so this is the very basic uh, way of like how you can use LangChain. Like we have just used a prompt, and we have built our chain, and we called it to get a response. Okay, so far it's good. Now let's talk about the agent. Okay, so now let's talk about agents. As I said, so agents are really super useful thing in this LangChain thing, LangChain framework. If you'll read about these, if I'll show you the definition, like you'll see like some application will require not just a predetermined chain of calls or LLM other tools, but potentially an unknown chain that depends on the user input. I know it's kind of tricky to understand it to this point, but if you'll go deeper, if you'll try to understand it, like in these type of chains, there is an agent. This is the agent. There is an agent which has an access to suite of tools, and these tools can be anything. Like maybe it can be your external database, MongoDB. Maybe you are making a call on Search API or YouTube API or whatever API you want to call it. And after that, depending on the user input, like whatever the user will search, the agent will find out and will decide. Okay, you don't have to explicitly mention like which one to choose. It will automatically choose the right one that it needs. Okay, so that's what agent is. And then there are like three important thing in agents. If I'll go back, so this is the one that we will be using. Okay, with the serp API. So here, if you will go here, if you'll see like the yeah, so this is the agent. This is the how you will define an agent. There are three important aspects of it. Like the first one is tools. Okay, so you have to define the tools. Okay, and the tools is basically that we were talking about. Like here is a sub API. Here you can make your own custom tool, or maybe you can have a database calling and anything like that. Okay, you can just define it here, and it will work. Okay, it will basically decide, like then after that the agent will decide on the basis of this prompt, like whether to choose that tool or not. Okay, so that's what it is. And let's see how it works. So we are going to first of all import this thing. Like this is an agent. Okay, so and after that we'll be using this one, serp API. I'll also show you like how you can use serp API. Okay, and after that, we are going to we don't need this one for now, so just let's not make it complicated for now. Okay? I'm just going to use this one uh, for tools. So let's define our tools like a const tools equal to, yeah, so this is the instance of our tool, and here you need to pass your API key. Okay, and how can you get that API key? Let's see. uh, so this is the platform. Here you can sign in and you will get around like 100 credits or something around that. Okay, so let me just sign in here with my account. Okay, and after that, this is my API key, which I will definitely change after this video. So yeah, and just replace it with your one, yours one. Okay, and after that, I don't think you need to define these, but let's just keep it as it is. Okay, so yeah, I think it's fine. So we have defined our tools. Now what we need to define is like the thing called executor, or you can call this is the agent. This is our agent, to be honest. Okay, so let's define our agent. Let me define this here. And in this case, right now we are not using chain at all. I think, of course, we are not using chain. So let me just comment this out. Agent is kind of chain in itself. So yeah. So this is the executor, and you can name it like a agent for more clarity as well. Agent. Okay. And the one we are going to use is a zero shot React description. If you don't know what this thing is, it's like kind of a way to prompt, like we have a different way to prompt. Okay, you can read about those in a prompt theory, or maybe like a prompt engineering theory. If you read about that, you can find zero shot as well. Okay, like how to do that. Maybe I'll mention the link in the description. Okay, so yeah, it's not a big problem. So we are going to use this way of prompting. Believe like one thing to keep in mind, like uh, right now I'm working with the OpenAI Da Vinci model. That's why I'm using this zero shot React description. Uh, but yeah, your response can be totally different on the basis if you change this agent type. Okay, we have different sort of agent type that you can read about in documentation, and you can get an idea like in by reading like what these things are exactly. Okay, and after that there is like other thing which is called verbose. It's a kind of a way it will basically start logging all the steps that this agent will take to get to that response, to get to this response. Okay, so yeah, and after that just take your input. Okay, let me take my input, and after that just what is LangChain? Okay, or maybe give me information about LangChain or something like that, right? Yeah, give me information about LangChain. Although right now I'm like hard coding it, like, but you can also use the same prompt template. Okay, it's not a big deal. But just for doing this thing quickly, I'm doing this, and now if I execute this thing, execute this agent, then you will see your answer. So give me information about LangChain, and here is our input, and this should be agent because we have changed our name. We have changed our name from like executor to agent, and now just console log this result. Console log result. Okay, so what is the problem? is not a function. What it's saying, a shrink is not a function. I don't know what is the problem. Wait a minute. Okay, so there was a problem with this one this time. Okay, so tools was here, right? Just move it to move it inside like a sync block. I don't know the exact reason why it happened, but yeah, for this video, just keep it here. Okay, I'll figure out and I'll let you know in the comment box like what was the problem. But yeah, just to keep it here, and after that, if you will search, tools is not defined. No, cannot be. Okay, so I haven't shaped it here. Now, if I do this, here you will see like a wait fetch. Okay, so there is one more problem, which I forgot to tell. Like, there is no fetch because it's using fetch method in Node.js. There is no fetch method by default. You have to install node fetch and all. But even doing so will not work. So you have to go inside node module. I don't know if there is any solution for that available right now in the documentation part. You can find and let me know in the comment box, but just go inside node module for now and find LangChain wherever you can. Let me see LangChain. Inside that, what you need to do is you have to find the serp API. Okay, the one we are calling right now, chains. The agents, I think maybe, not agents, tools. Okay, so go inside tools, and here you have to find serp one, serp API. If you can see somewhere, like, wait a minute. Okay, so you have to go inside test folder, and here inside tools, you might be able to find, yeah, so here you will be able to find the serp API. Okay, so here all you need to do is like just import fetch. First of all, you have to install that, like, on node fetch. Npm install node fetch, because by default node just doesn't support uh, fetch method, that's why. And here we might have used the fetch thing. Here you can see like it is using the fetch behind the scene. So yeah, so although it's not a good idea, we'll find out like if there is any other alternative or not. But if you'll be using the package in the front end side, then I think you will not face this problem. But it especially happens when you are using in Node.js, in a backend specifically. Okay, so this one might take some time, not too much, but so our node fetch has been installed, and here you can see like I've installed the node fetch. What you need to do is like just update it. Import fetch from node fetch. Okay, import fetch from node fetch, and similarly update this everywhere. Like even here, like let me just import fetch from node fetch. Let me put this here as well. Here you have to import in like CGS format. Fetch require node fetch. Okay. And after that, if I'll run this thing like a node index.js, then you will see like we will get our answer. I should look for information about LangChain. Here you can see like what it is saying. Like I should look for information about LangChain online search action. So now it will go to like a serp API and find out like whether it's true or not. Answer the following question the best as you can. You have an access. So it is basically prompting. It's thinking and then reacting. Okay, so it's called React or something like that. Okay, it's following that format right now. And at the end, here you can see like LangChain is a framework designed to simplify the creation of applications using large language models. So now our response is updated, and that's how we can build AI powered application. I know like a video is longer. We have also encountered some of the errors in between. So yeah, if you see any kind of, if you feel any uh, boring kind of moment, just skip that part and just move ahead. Okay. So yeah, so that's how you can use LangChain and um, integrate a agent, to be honest with you. So here what we did, like we have used our serp API, but you can build your own custom tool as well. But we will talk about that maybe in a later video, or you can comment me in the comment box if I'll think if there will be relevant need of that. Not really relevant, but if there will be need of that, I will make a videos for that as well. So yeah, so that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it, and even if you don't like it, just give it a thumbs up. Yes, that's it for today's video. I will see you in the next video. For then, goodbye.